evening. The July 14, 2016 Longview City Council meeting will now be called to order. Tonight, we are very honored with our prayer and our pledge will be led by Mr. Paul Borman, who's administrative minister at Alpine Church of Christ. But even more than that, Paul served as our Parks Recreation Director for many, many years and has meant so much to our community and all the things that he has done. And he's done so much, there's even a little trail named after him. I don't know if y'all know about that, but there is. Mr. Borman, welcome to Council Chambers again, and please join us. Everybody rise.
Thank you, Mayor Matt. Would you join me in prayer? Our God in heaven, as we pause at the beginning of this meeting, we give you thanks for all the blessings you give us as individuals, for this city, and for this great country that we live in. God, as we reflect on the things that have happened over the past few weeks, the senseless violence, we are heartbroken. So we ask for your intervention as we try to bind together in peace, love, and harmony. God, we also ask for you to provide us insight as we look deep into our own souls to try to find things that we can do as individuals to make things better. God, I thank you for the men and women who serve in city government. They have taken a portion of their lives to provide leadership to this community, and we thank them for it. Help us to give them and offer them grace, just as you offered grace to mankind as they deal with the many things on our behalf and for this fine city that we live in. God, we ask this prayer in our Savior's name, who made our salvation possible, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Now, if you would, join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Borman, thank you so much for being here, and retirement must be good for you. You don't look a bit different than you did 15 years ago, so welcome, and thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce a special guest, our chairman of the LEDCO board, Ms. Peggy Vaughn. She's going to make an introduction that is quite significant for our community. Mr. Vaughn, thank you.
Thank you. Council, Mayor, City Manager. As you know, we launched a search for a new economic development president in March. We launched a national search through a search firm, and we focused on what our mission is for LEDCO, our specific mission as any 4A economic development corporation knows, which is primary jobs in the city and also to foster the development of growth of existing companies. So in doing that, we looked around at what, we'd had some time as a board to look at what was important for this new leader, the skill sets to have. Our biggest investment from you guys, city tax money, is in our parks. We have industrial parks with probably north of $40 million worth of land that we need to get new companies into town filling up, and we need to work with our existing companies to expand those. So it really gave us a very clear definition and mission when we launched this search. We couldn't have found a better person. I want to introduce him, but I know, as you'll see, he is not going to brag on himself. So I'm going to do a little bragging because he deserves it. I think you'll understand the background and certainly the comments that I've received for the last couple of days when people have read his skill sets. He manages two large industrial parks. These are parks that have rail. They have, water. They're multimodal. He has been has been involved with the Mississippi Rail Board, the State of Mississippi Foreign Trade Zone Board. the Entergy Board. He's the guy in Mississippi that's so highly recognized for his ability to work not only as a team person, but the skill sets that he'll bring to Longview around all of those aspects that are way over my head, but are very important for somebody who's recruiting companies to Longview. You need to understand all of that to understand how to bring new industry to Longview, and certainly support the companies we have now. He also has a background in city planning, so he understands and has certainly met with David and a couple of folks on his team, so he understands, you know, and that just brings credibility when he'll talk to people that are looking at bringing a business here and they have to get something constructed and all the things they go through and they make decisions. So I think he just comes with a wealth of experience. It was not a hard decision, you know, for our board when we met Wayne. I want to take 2 seconds before I bring Wayne up here and recognize our staff from LEEDCO. They're here with us. You'll see the group. I want them just to stand. They have just been tremendously helpful in sort of refocusing our efforts to really our mission, which is around the 4A development of primary jobs. And I can't not, Andy, talk about, and you guys, how much we appreciate your letting us use David Willard in a part-time capacity. Very, you know, his maturity, his leadership. I think forevermore, LEEDCO in the city will be connected at the hip because of his time spent with us. And anyway, enough said.
Thank you, Peggy. I really appreciate the opportunity to come here tonight and visit with y'all, and I'm truly, truly honored to be associated with LEEDCO. Met with the staff, and I can assure you and the taxpayers that Ms. Peggy has gotten her full money's worth out of me today and will continue to do so because I'm not officially on the payroll till August 1st, but we have put in a full day since 8 o'clock this morning, so she's getting wise money management out of me. But I really look forward to working here. This is a wonderful community, and I've had an opportunity to come here a number of times during the interview process and also just to kind of survey the lay of the land and see what's there and what we can do together. I'm also impressed with the team. Had an opportunity to meet them for the first time today and sit down with them and go over some things and how we can move forward and move this community forward. But what I'm really impressed with, I think the first night that I came here, I spent some time going through some of the businesses and just looking around. It was a Monday evening, not many customers out on a Monday evening, but just the work ethic of the people in every place that I visited. There were not just people standing around. They were working, they were doing something, they were industrious. And that really impressed me, and I said, this is a community that can make something happen. And I know a lot has happened here in Longview over the years, and we will continue to move it forward. And I really look forward to the opportunity of working with y'all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wayne. I had the privilege of meeting Mr. Mansfield when he came in for interviews and was so impressed with he and his wife and their desire to be here in Longview, to get involved, to make a difference. And I know that you will make a difference, Wayne. I have no doubt about that. And anyone that's way over Peggy's head in anything speaks volumes to me. So I'm excited about that. And what I'm really excited about is we've solved our budget problems, because now that David's back on staff with us, he's only going to get paid half the salary. He's going to do half the job now. So our budget woes are over. We're good to go. Thank you, David. And, you know, in all seriousness, David, you filled a void for us that was unfillable. And that has been an extremely important role for both LEEDCO and the City of Longview, and you did both with never a complaint, not one. You never called me and said, I've got too much responsibility here or not enough time there, and that doesn't surprise me at all, because I know the kind of man you are, but I want everybody else to know the kind of man he is. He's a man that's selfless, that puts this city first and does everything he can in his power to make sure things work no matter what. And so we're blessed to have David, we're blessed to have Wayne, Peggy, we're blessed to have you. Thank you all for the job you've done, and I know everybody's excited to look forward to see what's going to happen in the future. Thank you all so much. We're now to employee recognition. Tonight we have two groups. Our first group will be the City of Longview champions in our youth block party. I'm going to call some names here. Barry Scott, Chris Turner. If you're here, please come forward. Barry Scott, Chris Turner, Crystal Gable, Dietrich Johnson, Elroy Brooks, Henry Plunkett, Jonathan Cameron, Joey Russ, Keith Chapman, Kim Wallace, LaDarian Brown, LaDawn Ingram, Lee Lloyd, Mike Killingsworth, Parker Harrison, Patty Eason, and Sean Hagenbucher. The end of the school summer 16 block party is a youth action committee and Hope for Youth initiative that took place on June the 11th in downtown Longview. Y'all come on up. I'm just going to read a bunch. And I'm good at reading, and I go really slow. The party was an effort to provide a safe, fun, free environment for our community's youth to kick off their summer. An estimated 200 youth spent an early summer evening in the atmosphere filled with music, dancing, and various activities. The organizers of this event, Keita King of Partners of Prevention, says credit for the success of the block party belongs to ladies and gentlemen you see standing before you today, who are the true City of Longview champions. Not only did they go above and beyond the call of duty to ensure the safety and overall success of the block party, they did so with a good attitude and a servant's heart and spirit. So today we acknowledge you and want you to know how much we appreciate your help in this event for our youth. I've said it 100 times, and I'll say it 100 more. When you invest in our youth, you're investing in our future. And you all do it every day, but you especially did it at a time where no one made you do it. No one said you had to do it. You did it on your own because you know it's the right thing. And when we have people doing the right thing because it's the right thing, you know what? We're in the right direction. And I'm excited about that, and I appreciate y'all's efforts. It speaks volumes to us, but the lives that you all touch in that one evening can make a difference that goes forever in the life of a young person. So thank you from the City of Longview, for the youth of our city, and from our town. We appreciate all that you do. Thank you, sir. Hold it back here. Here I am in the middle of the two giants. Do we not have any short people who want to do that? Thank you all. Appreciate you so much. We should have a citywide basketball team. Our next employee recognition is another very, very special one. And I can tell you this, there isn't enough time in a meeting to list everyone involved in this one. I'm going to read first and I'll give you my thoughts. The City of Longview hosted the 4th of July Fireworks and Freedom Celebration. It was only made possible thanks to the great group of sponsors, contributing businesses, volunteers, and employees who gave of their time, money, and effort to make this great event. We're putting on the screen a list of local businesses and individuals who made this possible. As I said, it would take too long to read each one, but just let me be clear that we are very thankful to everyone who made this a great success this year. We're looking forward to next year already. I don't know how many of you all attended, but if you did not, you absolutely missed the boat. I have been to a lot of fireworks extravaganzas in my life, and I have never, ever been to anything like that on July 4th. It was superb. It was so well done, the whole event, the whole day, everything at Montcalm and the fairground parking lot, the activities for the kids, the food, the entertainment, sleep at the wheel, that Walker McGuire, that other band. I'm not a country person, but I'm telling you, that they impressed me. It was very, very, very entertaining. But when you look at these people's names, that was not an all-day affair. That was an all-weekend affair for our employees and our volunteers that gave of their holiday weekend so that the City of Longview and the surrounding communities could enjoy a fireworks festival that was second to none. So I really want to say thank you to each department, each individual, each group that stood out there in that heat, came early, stayed late, because it was superb. It was absolutely superb. And it says a lot for our community that we can put on an event like that for our citizens and people to come to Longview to witness this, because I don't know how it can be better next year, but it's going to be better next year. So thank you to everyone involved in this. My hat goes off to you, but more than that, my heart goes out to you because you sacrificed once again for our community, and I thank you very much. We're now to citizen comment. That's zoning. That's zoning. Karen Maines. You're the only one I have.
Oh, well, it's even better. The good news just keeps coming. My name's Karen Maines, and I live at 2108 Wainwright Court in Longview, and I currently serve as the president of the board for the East Texas Symphonic Band here in Longview. I've also played French horn in the band for all of its 28 years. Just a quick information thing, the band is an all-volunteer group, no professional musicians. We're business owners, accountants, teachers, medical professionals, first responders, a few band directors, about a dozen high school and college students, all brought together for our love of playing and performing music and performing here in Longview. Dr. James Snowden has directed us every year. And on next weekend, July 23rd, the band will be performing in San Antonio at the Texas Bandmasters Annual Clinic and Convention. This is the largest gathering of band directors in the United States. We've been invited because last year the band was awarded the Outstanding Community Band of North America by the John Philip Sousa Foundation. This is the highest recognition in the country for community bands. This is our national championship right here in Longview. This is a huge honor for the Symphonic Band and for Longview as well. And we want to thank the City Council and the Cultural Activities Advisory Committee for awarding us grant money through the years, for several years, allowing us to perform at the LeTourneau University Belcher Center, where we only charge $5 for adults. All students are free. And we do a free concert every May at Teague Park, free to everybody. Thank you also to our supporters, the patrons who attend our concerts. Look for us in the newspaper ads, Longview News Journal, our posters. We have a Facebook page and a website. And I want to invite everyone to come hear the band free of charge this coming Tuesday, the 19th, at the Mickey Melton Auditorium at Longview High School at 7:30. It's a dress rehearsal. We'll try not to stop and interrupt it, so we're going to try to run it just like we'll run it in San Antonio. Thank you again to the city. We couldn't do it without you.
Thank you, Ms. Maines, and thank you to the Symphonic Band. They are a real treat to listen to. If you haven't had a chance, you should. They are a very well-run organization. Anything that Dr. Snowden is involved in will be run well. Just a quick aside, Dr. Snowden was my band teacher when I was in the 6th grade at Judson. Begrudgingly, he was my band teacher. You see, when you're in 6th grade, if you're in athletics, which I was, you had to either be in band or choir. Well, so I'm in band. Go to band, don't have an instrument because I have no musical talent. I get a trombone. I was so bad at the trombone, he sent me to choir. And I was so bad at choir, they sent me back. So he had to endure me for a whole year at that trombone. So bless his heart, he's a wonderful man, and I know he does a great job with you all. So thank you very much. Why I tell that, I don't know, but it was on my heart. Miss Ishihara has a presentation.
I do. Come on up. So I just wanted to thank you for the time. We're not officially on the agenda. I think I'm okay. And I wanted to, sorry. Come on up, y'all, come on up. Just wanted to introduce some special young people, all the way up, all the way up. Come on, come stand with me. Yep, stand and look this way. So these young adults from the Boys and Girls Club helped me this past week in painting a mural that you can see here at Aiken Park. So I just wanted to recognize them. They were all volunteers. They all came out and sweated for several hours on Tuesday morning to make this a prettier place in our community. So I just wanted to thank them. I really appreciate all that you did and recognize you for your hard work. I do have a couple of special thank yous. Emery, raise your hand, was the artist. So you see here, well, you can't see too well, but it says compassion, respect, and pride with a beating heart on that side. And then on this other side is Emory's vision for what Longview is like in the future when we all work together and love each other with compassion, pride, and respect. So, Emory, that's for you. Thank you so much. And then everyone you see here worked very hard, and I'm very appreciative, but 2 young people really stood out and worked the hardest that day. So I wanted to thank Angel Evans and Daquan Attaway for being superstars. They truly did not put the paintbrush down, and when some of their friends would stop and take a break, they would say, "Get back to work. We have to get this finished." So y'all are destined for great things, and I really, really thank you and their leaders. So, and we're going to take a picture real quick, and then y'all are free to go. So thank y'all very much. Thank you.
Very impressive. Thank you, young people, for helping make our city a better place to live. And thank you, Mr. Shahar, for bringing this to our attention. We now have a presentation item. I'd like to introduce the President and CEO of Good Shepherd, Mr. Steve Altmiller, who's going to talk to us about the Good Shepherd Health System joining the Duke LifePoint Healthcare System. Thank you, Mr. Altmiller.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members. I appreciate the time and the opportunity to give you an update on Good Shepherd. The last 3 years for Good Shepherd have been tough as an organization, and the leadership board and hospital boards and physicians have taken great steps to address the challenges in healthcare that have faced many nations, many systems, and many hospitals. In August of 2015, the Good Shepherd Health System announced that looking to the future, regardless of our plans and turnaround initiatives, we needed to seek a partner. And they embarked on a search. That search was driven by the Good Shepherd Health System Board and 3 physicians that were added to the selection committee. Those physicians were added because of the importance of having physician input, guidance, decision-making, and that's just the nature of the Good Shepherd Health System direction and philosophy. We brought in a firm, Juniper Advisory, that works in merger and acquisitions work in hospital systems. They identified for us 18 potential interested parties, and given where we've been financially, it was amazing that 18 people showed up. 13 actually signed non-disclosure agreements, meaning we wouldn't talk about them, they wouldn't talk about us, and we shared our financial information with that group. Of the 13, 8 actually submitted written offers to acquire Good Shepherd Health System. And I'll say in the written, the RFPs that went out, 8 objectives were identified by the Good Shepherd Health System Board and how to evaluate the folks, the suitors. The number 1 was mission, vision, and philosophy, to make sure that the things that have made Good Shepherd what they are today, based on the fine physicians and auxiliaries and staff and community leaders, that continues on regardless of who we pick. A focus on something about the bondholders having an interest in being paid on their debt. I thought that was kind of important. To make sure that the employees were taken care of, in the sense of doing whatever we need to do to ensure the financial viability of the organization and therefore job stability for our employees. A focus on physicians, a focus on quality, a focus on capital investment and development of services for the benefit of the community. Of those 8 written offers, 5 were selected for presentations to the system board. Of the 5, 4 were selected for a reverse due diligence, where board members kind of did a partial John Candy. They went by plane, boat, bus, no trains. We went to 4 different cities. We met with board members, physicians, we met with management, and we basically asked them, did this suitor that we were interviewing do what they said they would do? Was that a good decision? And really, for all 4 of the suitors, the answer was resoundingly yes. We did additional due diligence, came down to 2 suitors, and finally selected, and we announced that a couple of weeks ago, the suitor being Duke LifePoint. A couple things about Duke LifePoint. Number one, it was formed in 2011 as a joint venture between a for-profit company, LifePoint Health, out of Brentwood, Tennessee, and Duke University Health System, a nonprofit health system out of Durham, North Carolina. And it is an amazing combination of an organization that is strong in academics, strong in medical research, but also strong in quality and patient safety, morphed with a company that is really strong in clinical and operational excellence, and that's Duke LifePoint Health. So we're in a process now. On Monday, we go to the county commissioners to watch a vote or listen to them vote on a resolution to assign the lease to Duke LifePoint, pending completion of the due diligence. Pending that, there'd be a 60 to 90-day due diligence review. After that, about 30-plus days for state and federal reviews, which we don't expect any problems with that or any issues with that. So we're expecting to close and be part of the Duke LifePoint system by the end of this calendar year. So what does that mean to the city of Longview or the citizens of Gray County? It means, number one, that the legacy of Good Shepherd, based on the company we've selected, that the system board has selected, will honor the mission and vision and values. We'll have an emphasis on quality. We'll have an emphasis on improving the care that we provide, on developing the services that we offer into our community. And believe it or not, there's a significant amount of care that people seek outside of Longview, outside of Gray County, that we believe, with the right focus on program service development, that care can be provided here in Longview. We have two great financial institutions, or healthcare institutions, and we think we can develop programs that people will seek care here as opposed to elsewhere. That's economic development, that's job security, that's providing better health care locally. So we're very impressed with what Duke LifePoint's going to provide. They're making in the agreement a significant improvement in our capital investment, and they're taking steps to make sure that we honor the commitments to providing the level of indigent care and charity policies that have been adopted in the past, that those will be continued. And they will have local governance, representation both from the physicians and lay members within the community. So I think it's great for Good Shepherd. It's great for the citizens of Longview and Gray County that the system board found a great partner for us. I think they'll make improvements that you'll be proud of, and that'll be good for our economy, our health, our folks. So I'm pleased to bring you up to speed on this. We look forward to the day where we're part of Duke LifePoint, and we can start putting their expertise, systems, capital, resources into our community. So with that, I'm open to any questions you may have.
Questions, Council? Mr. Altman, we appreciate you and your commitment in bringing this to us and allowing us to kind of get an idea of what's going on. And we are excited about the opportunity that lies ahead for the city as well, because this will certainly be an increase in revenue for us. And so
That's right. We become a taxpayer.
you sure do.
I forgot that minor point.
You sure do. And we're very pleased about that. So
There you go.
Thank you very much, and we appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
We're now ready for our public safety update. Chief Bishop.
Mayor Mack, council members, Mr. Willard, thank you for giving me the opportunity to kind of update you on a few things that have been going on within the police department. Just to kind of give you an update for our activity for June, you can see we still have a high call volume. We answered a little over 9,500 calls for service, 6,900 which were dispatch calls, and then roughly about 3,600 that were officer-initiated calls for service. Made 150 arrests, 19 felony with 21 charges, and 131 misdemeanor arrests with a total of 244 charges filed. I'd like to invite everybody on Monday, July 18th at 2 o'clock in the Roy Stone Police Training Center. We're going to do 2 promotions to the rank of sergeant. We're going to promote Officer Dennis Phillips to the rank of sergeant and Officer Kelly Humphrey. Both of these officers are veteran officers, and we're going to do these promotions to backfill some of the retirements that we just recently had. So we'd like to invite everybody to that as well. Last Friday, we had 3 new recruits graduate the East Texas Police Academy. And today we had the opportunity to commission these 3 new officers, Jacob Machiavello, Taylor Bogue, and Olivia Powell. And I might mention that Jacob Machiavello was the valedictorian of the class, which was a great honor for our agency to receive. So today we commissioned these 3 officers and welcome them to our department. I'd like to announce tonight our annual Citizens Police Academy that we hold. We'll begin taking applications at this time. Our Citizens Police Academy meets on Tuesdays and Thursday nights from 6:15 to 8:15. It'll run from September 8th through October 20th. This is a good opportunity for members of our community that want to come to the Citizens Police Academy to learn more about their police department and how we operate. We'll have different presentations from many different segments within the department that'll be available to give presentations on equipment that we use and to be able to answer any questions from the participants in the class. So this is a good class that we use to help enhance our community policing efforts. And for those that are interested, they can call 237-1199 for an application, or they can download it off our website at longviewtexas.gov/CPA. Last Tuesday night, we had a memorial service for the 5 officers that were killed in Dallas, and also a support for the local officers here as well. I'd like to thank everybody that came out and showed their support during this time last week. And Mayor, I know you spoke and the judge spoke, and we certainly appreciate our city and county leaders saying a few words. It couldn't have come at a better time. I think everybody needed to hear that, and we certainly appreciate the support that we've had from all the residents in Longview and Gregg County, and we've just been overwhelmed. And I want everybody to know that the men and women of the Longview Police Department have been feeling that love and support over the last week, and we certainly do appreciate everything that everybody has done. And just have a few pictures here from the event. We had memorial books there. We had the memorial books signed for each of the officers, and their city media videoed the event, and we're going to create a video and send that with the memorial book to each of the families that were affected by this. So with that, I'll answer any questions that you might have.
Any questions of the Chief? Chief, thank you. And we hope and pray that you do feel the love, because we do support you, Chief.
Yeah,
Thank you. Chief Steelman.
Mayor Mack, council members, Mr. Willard, thanks for the opportunity to update you on a few things that have been happening in the fire department since your last council meeting. First, I'd like to share with you the fact that we held basically our 2nd annual Hot Car and Water Safety Day. This was at the Longview Swim Center on Fairmont Street. Just a day of getting out, intermingling with the children that were there, teaching them about water safety. You can see them doing some work with the throwbacks there. Our water rescue team guys were in the pool with them. Just had a great time. Anytime we get to interact with kids and kind of let them learn more about what we do, and at the same time teach them some safety lessons. And unfortunately, the very next day we did experience a double drowning here in the city, so that is a real life, that was a tragedy in and of itself, but that's a real life occurrence, unfortunately. So spreading that word about being safe around water, and especially with children, it's important that we get out there and try and spread that message as much as possible. Again, we partnered with PD on this. On the hot car demo side, you can see the example they had there with their patrol car. It was 97 degrees. This was 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and already inside that vehicle it was 145. So again, this is another thing. Unfortunately, we do experience this from time to time where children are left in vehicles, and I promise you it doesn't take long. That heat will suck the life right out of you. We've already encountered a couple of instances with pets so far this summer, and it's just going to continue to get worse. So just getting that awareness out there to make people aware, to be extremely cautious in both of these environments with hot vehicles and around water. it took a great cast to put this together. We partner every year on this with the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Parks and Recs joined up, the LPD PAR, and then again members of our water rescue team. So the teamwork thing, the ATIP, we're certainly glad to pull that together and make these events happen. Another one that followed shortly after that was our hot camp, our summer hot camp. You'll remember that I advertised these a while back. Had a great turnout, another day of fun for the kids to come out, spend a day with the firefighters, learning more about the job, maybe if they're interested in a career, kind of understanding more of what that takes to lean into that. So just experiencing some of the different tactical things that we get to do, the cool stuff, the fun stuff. And at the same time, they learned a little bit of CPR, which might come in handy every once in a while. So certainly glad to share that information. They got to take a boat ride out in Teague Lake. So they had a great time with that. That's supposed to move, I think, so maybe it's not. You know, it makes the ducks mad, but the kids have a great time, and the guys that are doing this have just as much fun as the kids do. So anytime that we get to interact in settings like this, again, partnered up with Partners in Prevention, the Fire Marshal's Office, and our own duty crews, pull that off that day. So thanks to all of them for making that happen. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Chief, I think it's so important that you guys interact with those kids like that. It makes such a difference. And you know, you're giving them opportunities that they wouldn't have otherwise, and so we appreciate that. It's very, very important that you continue to do that, and just know we love you too, Chief.
Oh, yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're now to a discussion item. I'd like to discuss the expansion of the membership of the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee. And I know this is kind of a surprise to most of you all because we didn't really discuss it, but what I want to do, or what I'm going to propose to you all, is this. This is a committee that was put in place when the comprehensive plan was approved and passed, and this committee consists of 5 citizens and 2 council representatives. And Mr. Moore spoke with me about this and raised a concern, which I think was very valid, and I think that we all will see this in the same manner. But I feel this is a very important committee that is going to have a lot of direction and decision-making in which way the council proceeds with this comprehensive plan. Not that we can do everything, but when we can, we need to. And so we have to have some committee in place that allows us this opportunity. And so what I would like to do is expand this from basically a 5-citizen committee, because I'm not counting the 2. We're going to still have 2 council representatives as liaisons, but those council representatives will change each year. And so I don't want to include them in what I propose. I would like to propose this as being a 12-member committee, that being 2 individuals from each district, or each council representative will name the 2 individuals that they would like to have on that, and I would encourage them to be either from your district or representing your district. So they don't have to live in your district, but they need to be representative of your district, because I think that's very important that we have equal representation on this committee, because I think this will lead us as a council on where we're going to go. And I don't want the 2 council representatives to be considered part of the district. And right now with the 5 committee members, we obviously don't have representation of every district because there's only 5 members. And so I think this is important. I think it's something that I want you all to put some thought into. I want you to come back and bring 2 names, and then I think we will have a very comprehensive plan advisory committee, which I think is very important for the future of Longview as we move forward. Please feel free to give me your opinions on that. Thank you very much. No, I'm kidding.
So we're not voting on that tonight?
Yes, can we vote on this tonight? It's a discussion item, so what I'd like to do is, I mean, we don't have to vote on anything. What I want to do is when we bring at our next meeting, I would like you all to bring your 2 members up, and we'll vote on those members as being the committee. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes. Sounds good. Right.
Yep.
What discussion do we have? I know, Mr. Moore, please feel free to stop, because I appreciate you talking with me about this and bringing this to the forefront, because I truly did not, it didn't come across my radar, and it should have.
You know, like you have said, Mayor, this committee is probably one of the most important that we have going forward, because out of this group is eventually going to come a capital improvement planning committee and various other items to bring our comprehensive plan forward. So I appreciate you taking this on, and I think we're going in the right direction.
I agree. We good? Good, good. Okay, move on. We're now to the consent agenda. Are there any items that council would like to pull off for discussion in separate fashion?
Move to approve. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Zoning and public hearing items. We have Ms. Choi with us tonight. Hello, Ms. Choi.
Hello, Mayor Mack, members of council.
We'd like to talk about PD 1607.
Yes, sir. The applicant is requesting to rezone from agricultural to plan development single-family attached for the construction of a new 23-lot single-family attached subdivision. The proposed plan development site plan shows a single-family attached subdivision in clusters of 2 and 3 with a minimum lot size of 1,700 square feet and a minimum house size of 1,200 square feet. The site plan also shows there's a private shows a private street off of Hawkins Parkway that will service all these lots, as well as private alleyways for the garages. Within the plan development, the developer has proposed a 3-foot wide sidewalk that will run parallel along both sides of the private street. Also, there is an HOA area along Hawkins Parkway in the front, which will serve as a park with a walkway with a sidewalk. The developer has also proposed to install approximately 21 off-street parking spaces for guests within this development, as you can see here. Hawkins Parkway is a minor arterial road, which is appropriate for this type of development as long as access management is followed. Planning and Zoning Commission, along with staff, recommends approval of this request. I'd be happy to answer any questions at this time.
This item requires a public hearing, which is now open. Council, any questions? I have 2 speaker cards. Mr. Kyle Smith. Just for questions? Just for questions. Very good. Thank you, sir. And I have Joe Hart with Johnson & Pace. Questions as well. Thank you both for being here. Any questions of those 2 gentlemen? Public hearing is now closed. May I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any opposed? Motion.
Can I make a comment first?
You may.
First, I appreciate Mr. Smith's confidence in Longview to put something like this in here because I know it's going to cost him a lot of money to do it. We're spending a lot of money along Hawkins Parkway with all these subdivisions that have been going in, and I think it's important for the city to start looking at what's going on Hawkins, because with all the additional automobiles coming into Hawkins, it's becoming a pretty dangerous street. And I hope that we can take a look at that and try to figure out something to do with the infrastructure to improve the access to Hawkins.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Now I'll call all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have a public hearing on Z1601. Ms. Choi.
Yes, sir. The applicant is requesting a rezone from single family 2, shown here in the blue, to general retail. Magnolia Lane is a collector, which is appropriate for retail type uses such as this, as long as access management is followed. Staff finds the proposed zoning change is consistent with the future land use map and surrounding zoning. Planning and Zoning Commission, along with staff, recommends approval of this request. I'd happy to answer any questions.
This requires a public hearing, which is now open. Any questions of Ms. Choi? Any comments? Public hearing is now closed. May I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have a public hearing on PD 16-06. Ms. Choi.
Thank you. The applicant is requesting to rezone approximately 0.160 acres of abstract 177 of the W.M. Robinson Survey, Tract 109, Section 1, from single family 3, seen here in the blue, to plan development single family attached. As you can see here in the zoning map, the whole neighborhood on Andrea Street is zoned PD 83-14, which is single family attached for townhome type developments. It was platted in 1983 this way, with 3,900 square foot lots, minimum house sizes of 899 square feet. In 2006, if you look across the street in 2006, a developer came along and developed some of these lots along here to match within this subdivision, and the developer has proposed to do the same thing with this vacant piece of property. Planning and Zoning Commission, along with staff, recommend approval of this request. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
This requires a public hearing, which is now open. Council, I have one question, Ms.
Yes,
Joy.
sir.
And are you saying attached or detached?
This one is detached.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure I was hearing correctly.
Yes, sir.
Any comments from the citizens? Public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Choi. We now have a public hearing to receive citizen input on the fiscal year 2016-2017 Consolidated Action Plan. Mr. Parker Harrison.
Sir, Mr. Mack, council members, Mr. Willard, I'm here to answer any questions regarding the budget for the public hearing. Preceding this will be the action item to approve the resolution for that.
Is there any question? This does require a public hearing, which is now open. Is there any questions from council? Any comments? Public hearing is now closed. Thank you, Mr. Harrison. Now we're to action items. Consider resolution for City of Longview approving fiscal year 2016-2017 annual consolidated action plan, which includes the CDBG and the Home Investment Partnership grant funds. Mr. Harrison.
Yes, this is to approve and recommend the projects and activities for the funding that was outlined in the consolidated plan. And your approval is requested at this time.
Any questions of Mr. Harrison?
Move to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Harrison. We'll now consider a resolution appointing the Mayor Pro Tem. Each year, we are able to appoint a Mayor Pro Tem, so when the mayor is unable to perform his duties or her duties, that the Mayor Pro Tem steps in. And last year, Ms. Ishihara performed those duties flawlessly, and I appreciate her service. She was wonderful in all that she did. And it is a very important position because there are times when things are needed that the mayor may not be able to do, attend, or provide. And so this is a significant position, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to appoint someone. Let me just kind of go through how I have arrived at this. As Ms. Ishihara has just completed her term, Ms. Williams has already been the Mayor Pro Tem. The remaining council members, Mr. Moore, Ms. Snoddy, and Mr. Wright, all came on at the same time. Mr. Purtle is the newest member, so he will be last in line. But the way I look at this is these three members are all of the same seniority, and I feel like I will start at this end of the room and I will appoint Mr. Moore. It's a very democratic way I'm doing this. But there is a method behind my madness, because next year I anticipate Ms. Snoddy will be the Mayor Pro Tem because she will still be on council. Mr. Wright has just received a new 3-year term, so he will be here for at least 3 more years, which will give him the ability to be the Mayor Pro Tem, because both Mr. Moore and Ms. Snoddy's terms will end next year, after next year. And whether you're on or not, we will still be, we don't know that yet. So this way you will both be able to be the Mayor Pro Tem during your tenure as your first 3 years on the council, and then Mr. Wright will be able to be the Mayor Pro Tem. Mr. Purtle will follow after that because he has 3 more years. So I know it's comminuted, but I feel this is a very fair way to do it, and I feel like everyone up here is deserved and I think is more than capable of doing this job. So I'm in perfect confidence that whomever is the Mayor Pro Tem will do their job appropriately. So I propose Mr. Moore at this time to be the Mayor Pro Tem.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Mayor.
We'll now consider a resolution creating and making appointments to the Downtown and I-20 Corridor Small Area Plan Advisory Committees. Mr. Shirley.
Thank you, Mayor Mack, members of council, Mr. Willard. This is a resolution creating and also making appointments for the small area plan subcommittees or the advisory committees for the downtown and I-20 area. These groups will be tasked with working with the consultant to move that process forward and provide input for that project. I'd be happy to answer any questions, and I believe you have the recommendations from the appointments committee in front of you as well.
We do. Thank you, Mr. Shirley. Is there any questions about this? Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We'll now consider an ordinance amending Chapter 10 to permit late hour sale of alcoholic beverages in permitted private places. Ms. Ballinger.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is to consider an ordinance amending Chapter 10-8A of the Longview City Code to prevent the late hour sale of alcoholic beverages in permitted places. Currently, the alcoholic beverages can be sold only until 12 a.m. and at the permitted locations, but they can be possessed and consumed until 2:15 at these same locations. The amendment would provide for the possession, the consumption of the alcoholic beverages until 2:15 a.m. and also the sales of the alcoholic beverages at the locations until 2 a.m., if that makes any sense. Do you have any questions?
Any questions, Ms. Ballinger?
Go ahead.
Ms. Williams?
Okay, I'm familiar with the ordinance, but how many businesses have been affected by this? Because we're making this change now, and I think that to some, you know, everyone didn't know, some of our businesses didn't necessarily know that we had this ordinance. It's kind of been brought to my attention by some local businesses. So my question is, how many businesses are actually affected by this? Like the ordinance that we had in place, for example, okay? So that's what we've been under, although there are places that sell alcohol until 2 a.m., okay, and have been doing so they've been outside of the ordinance. How many businesses are affected by this?
I can't tell you how many businesses are affected. Because we are wet in some areas, damp in the others, you know, we had the election to sell the wine and beer all over town.
Right.
We also had the election for restaurants to have mixed beverages, and that's all over town. But the late hour permit they were only supposed to sell wine and beer. They couldn't sell mixed beverages.
Right, so hypothetically, I don't want to say anyone's name because of legality, but hypothetically, a chain restaurant in Longview, if they were already doing this, I guess my question is, have we notified them that, you know, there's this change, or is there any additional documentation they're going to have to submit or fill out?
No, ma'am.
Okay, if they've been against the ordinance. I mean, if they've been operating outside of the ordinance.
Correct. They will continue to operate.
Okay, so everyone is fully aware. You're looking at me like I'm not, am I making sense? Kinda. All right, come on, Sheriff.
I know what you're saying, Kasia, and I think this is more of a house cleaning deal so that we're giving everybody equal footing.
That's what
Because
I
in the
wanted to be
past,
clear.
I don't think everybody truly knew what the ordinance said, and now we're
Right.
giving everybody equal opportunity to do what, if they so desire, and it's across the board, 2:15 for alcohol sales.
Okay.
So I think that's what we're doing, is mainly just cleaning things up a little bit, making it where everybody understands what the ordinance is, and then giving everybody the same ability to provide until 2:15.
Okay, and that makes sense, because if someone was denied, you know, when they came to your office, so now they will be advised that we have this ordinance in place. I guess that's what I'm
Yes,
asking,
ma'am.
because we need the tax dollars. We need everything we can get. Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you. Is there any more discussion on this? Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all so much. We're now to items of community interest. Mr. Moore.
I would like to invite everybody to attend my second town hall meeting on Monday evening at 7 p.m., July 25th, in the Pine Tree ISD Community Center. I hope to have a good crowd. I've told the directors they do not have to attend, so I'm kind of standing up there alone. So, but I encourage everybody to attend to discuss things. Secondly, there is a young man in District 1 whom most of us know, Jeremiah Hunter, who has been elected as a delegate to the National Republican Convention in Cleveland next week. And whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, it is encouraging to see young people like that become so active in the political scene, if you will. So, Jeremiah, congratulations. Thank you, Mayor.
Ms. Snoddy.
Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to say thank you. It's been a while since we've been here, but thank you to city staff and all the supporters who came to the beautiful South Side Longview event. We had an awesome time, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who came out and participated, who attended. Secondly, thank you to whoever was responsible for providing me with a cookie cake. July 4th is my birthday, so the fireworks event was great, so thank you for that. Want to send out, they're not here in the audience, but a shout out to the Fox Hill community. The residents there have been visible on their feet working to clean up the community, so I just want to send a shout out to them. Also, Kadarius Colbert, the founder of ACE, Academic Community Excellence, will be hosting an event on July 24th, 1 to 4 p.m. at Stamper Park Community Center. This event will provide 27 college-bound students with startup supplies for their college careers. So, guys, there's a GoFundMe online. God has been good. He's been blessed to receive donations for 27 people, but we would like to get more. For more information, you can go to www.acescholar.org to find out more about that. And lastly, as Mr. Boardman said, let's examine ourselves and everything that we do. If there's anything that is not good within us, let's pray and ask God to remove it and replace it with nothing but good. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Snoddy. Ms. Williams.
Everything Councilwoman Snoddy said about beautiful Southside, ditto, and everything else. I would like to just say that to the chief and our firemen and our law enforcement officials, thank you. Thank you. You know, a little side joke, I told the mayor I may have to leave because of my dog, and he told me that I've already used that excuse before, which I have, okay, but I don't have kids, and this is a struggle for me. I'm working through this. But anyway, it was such a very heartwarming event, and when I look behind me, I was very moved throughout the entire event, so thank you, Chief. And thank you, Chief Stillman. The firemen were there in the back holding up the tail end. That's what we do in Longview. And I had one of those moments where I realized why I do what I do. So thank you. God bless you. And everyone, just please know we support you because you protect us every day and night. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Ms. Ishihara.
I do actually have two items. First one is going to be Aiken Park. We had a party in the park last Saturday. Thank you so much to everyone that came out. We had over 300 people there. It was awesome. So this is just, I wanted to put up a picture of our beautiful new playground equipment that the city has installed. I am grateful to the city for committing to our neighborhood parks and hope that the neighborhood will use them. So it's at 414 Delwood Drive if you don't know where Aiken Park is. But we have this beautiful playground equipment. We have 2 tennis courts there with brand new nets, so make sure and make use of that neighborhood park, please. And then, oh, yep, and you already saw that. And the next one is your friendly reminder that's sure to make everyone happy that on Pegues Place, the speed limit has been reduced to 20. And the reason for that is because of the, yep, you're welcome, is because of the way that the road curves in the middle. There are probably 3 to 4 cars that go up into citizens' yards every month. And every time that would happen, I would receive several phone calls. One time they ran into the home. So it has been reduced. It is a problem because we have a lot of bad drivers. So, I mean, just to be honest about the problem, it is because we drive too fast. So please remember to slow down and drive safely. I love my children, and I want you to not injure them. So, but this is your friendly reminder. Pegues Place has been reduced to 20. You need to drive 20 or the police will start giving tickets in the next couple of weeks. So that's it. Thank you.
Our budget woes will be no longer with that speed limit there because you can't go 20 in a vehicle. It's just done that. Mr. Wright.
Yes, Ms. Snoddy and I had the opportunity last week to appoint new members to the boards and commissions in the city. And I just want to thank all the citizens of Longview who made themselves available to be on these boards and commissions. We had quite a few people to select from, and they were all good people. Good, they were all well suited for the job, and we sure appreciate all your efforts to get onto these commissions. Thank you.
Mr. Pirtle.
Well, it's been an interesting 3 weeks so far. I've learned to listen to both sides of every story. But I did do something the other day that I was real proud of the city about. I used the city app, and I got a street fixed, and I was real surprised. It got fixed the next day before I even got up there to go check it out. So city employees I visited with a few of those. They're really on the ball, so that's a good thing.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Willard.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to, Councilman Moore, I will be at your town hall meeting, but you'll still be alone.
That's our city manager. And I apologize to you, David, for last meeting. No. I did not recognize you for out of community interest, and I apologize for that, so forgive me for that. Okay, I have quite a few things tonight, imagine. First off, I want to echo what Mr. Wright said. Ms. Snoddy and Mr. Wright were on the Council Appointments Committee, and the boards and commissions are full. And I don't know how many of y'all know, but it has been a long, long time before that has been a reality. And what that tells me is that people care, people want to be involved, and people are excited about what's going on in Longview. And that's because of what you all are doing. That's the way I look at that. Because I think we are a reflection of the community, and people are happy to want to work with us and be involved with what's going on. And so thank you all for that time and effort you put in. It was a laborious job, but you all did a great job. And I also want to thank those individuals that are going to be on the advisory committee, the small area plan committees, the I-20 and the downtown. Those are going to be very, very important committees that are going to help shape what I consider also the future of Longview and downtown and the I-20 corridor. So thank you for everyone involved in that. Pokemon Go is all the craze. Now, I'm going to read this. I don't understand it. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I'm either too old or I don't know, but it seems to be that everyone is playing. Please be safe and do not play while you're driving. I can't comment because I do not know what that is, but I've seen it everywhere, so don't drive while you're doing it. The Longview Animal Care and Adoption Center is now open for business as of July 1. We encourage you to get involved as a volunteer or make donations such as gently used towels and blankets, or help network by liking their Facebook page at facebook.com/LongviewAnimals. The National Clear the Shelter Day will be held on July 23rd. We encourage you to come adopt a new pet for the family. And I, Mayor Mack, will not be adopting 4 cuddly cats, Sean. Really? But I will be providing the ceremony where each council member adopts 4 cats, okay? Because I am a magistrate, you know. I can perform that ceremony. Okay. Wow. Really? 4 cuddly cats. I guess you didn't think I'd see that, did you, Sean? It's in bold. He bolded it out for me. The Great Texas Balloon Race is July 22nd to the 24th at East Texas Regional Airport. In addition to the many balloons that will be soaring over Longview, the event will also include concerts from Restless Heart, the Darren Morris Band, and Aaron Watson. This fantastic event is a huge draw for our area, and we are thankful to all the volunteers and sponsors who make it possible. This is a winner, folks. This is one of the funnest events of the year. Doesn't matter that it's going to be in July and it's hot. You will have so much fun. Bring your kids, bring your family, bring friends. This is a great, great event, and I am so excited to be a part of it again this year. We have some recent events that have taken place: Longview Summer Boat Show, the 4th of July fireworks, the Art Walk of Longview. We have upcoming events. We have the Texas Shakespeare Festival, the East Texas Regional Arts at the Longview Museum of Fine Arts. We have the Drive to Remember car show. We have the Art View Peter Pan, and we have many, many more. So please be involved with our community calendar. I think it's so good that we're getting more and more things involved in the calendar, and people are able to see what is going on in Longview. We had a survey, and I can tell you, I like this survey. You can read it. We all have many wonderful parks in Longview. I want to see all of our children be able to enjoy the parks, even those in wheelchairs. Would you be willing to support an endeavor to equip our parks with swings for children in wheelchairs to enjoy? And let me tell you, before I tell you what the answers are, it's yes and no. When I say, are you willing to support this endeavor, I don't mean, yeah, I want to support this endeavor. I want you to support this endeavor financially, because I think this, and I'm not asking the city of Longview to do this. This is not a city of Longview. We don't have a budget for that. But we have such a kind, caring, giving community. And these children deserve swings to play in at a park. And I can tell you from this survey, we've already had 2 swings totally donated. And we're not going to stop with 2 because I think every park should have a swing for these handicapped children, because it just should be a right. It should be a right. And those of us who have never experienced that, be thankful. I don't care if you give $5. I'm asking you, as the citizens of Longview, to open up your pocketbook, and I want you to donate to this. Here's an example of what these swings are. Look at the smiles on these kids' faces. And I can tell you, if I have to do every one of them myself, we're going to do this for our parks. And I'm counting on the citizens of Longview to join me in this. And I don't think this is going to even be an issue. I think we're going to see an outpouring of support, because this is the right thing to do, people. And I know this is going to take place. So I encourage your support. I encourage you to contact the city. We have a fund in the city called the Go Giver Fund. And this is Go Giving at its best. So I'm encouraging you to do this. If you don't, I'm going to call you. I have a vast phone book of people that call me all the time for donations. We're going to do this. And I know that the Lions Club is already working on some handicapped playground equipment for our parks, and they're going to partner with this as well. And we have many, many organizations in Longview that are capable of doing this. These swings are about $1,600 a swing. And I can tell you, I know we have an AMBUCS group that is so involved with the trikes for the kids, and that is such a heartfelt program, and it makes such a difference for those kids. I want to see the other service organizations in Longview jump on this, because we have plenty of them and plenty of people involved. We can find funds to do this. So I'm counting on you, Longview. Please do not let me down. I know this is going to work because it should work. Our survey result, 98% yes. And those 4 people that said no, I really would like to know who you are. Okay, not really. Well, I really would, because I'd like to know why. Who wouldn't want to support a child who needs something like this? Okay, here's the fun one. If you could participate and be good, this is the key to this one. In any Summer Olympic sport, which would you choose? What do you think won? Who said that? You're exactly right. Beach volleyball. Well, other really won, but of all the choices, beach volleyball, 27%. The other was 29%, but it was a myriad of things, mainly track and field, which was one of the answers. But I was surprised. Swimming, 19%. Archery, which I didn't think would be on the map, came in 3rd place. That's crazy. But what a great time we're going to have watching Summer Olympics and watching our athletes perform in Rio. So I'm excited about that. A few more things, and I'm going to let you go. But these few things are important. David? Excuse me? He tells me to keep it short. I usually try to, but this is important. I'm sure you all read in the News Journal that Longview was selected as number 67 in the state of Texas as being family-friendly place to live and raise your family. And that may not seem important, being 67, but let me assure you, it is very important. Because if you look at the communities that were ahead of us in this survey, most of them were fingers of the metroplexes within 20 or 30 miles of big cities, which, I mean, certainly South Lake Carroll is a more attractive place to live than Longview, Texas, if that's your desire to live near a metroplex. But when you get outside of a 100-mile radius of a metroplex, East Texas, Longview was #1. And that is important, because a year ago, we were the 13th most dangerous city in Texas to live in. And now we're the #1 spot in East Texas to raise your family and live in East Texas. I think that's a testament to where we've come, to what our vision is, to what we are striving for in our community. When you say family friendly, what does that mean? That means we promote the family. We try to do things that keep our kids active. We provide wonderful park systems. We provide activities, and we're going to continue to do that. And so, to me, this is very significant. 67 might as well be #1 as far as I'm concerned, because as far as I'm concerned, we are #1 in East Texas, and that's really who we're who we're in competition. We're not in competition with South Lake Carroll, I'm here to tell you, or the suburbs in Austin or San Antonio. But in East Texas, we are in competition. And so I like where we were positioned. And I think, once again, that's a reflection of you all and what you all have done and the attitude that we're projecting for our community. Because every community has black eyes. Every community does. But we're not focusing on those black eyes. We're focusing on the positive things that make Longview the place you want to live and raise your family. So thank you all for your service, and thank you, Longview, for stepping up and being that community that we want to live in. The next thing, I want to really commend our police chief and our fire chief and our sheriff for putting together such a moving, meaningful memorial this week for the fallen officers in Dallas. Dallas is not too far away from us. They're our neighbor, and we feel their pain, but we feel their pain because it could happen anywhere. We can't control the crazy people in this world. We don't have the ability to control crazy people. But what we do have the ability to control is how we wrap our arms around those that are protecting us. And I think we've shown that we're willing to wrap our arms around the people that have lost lives in Dallas and around our police and fire here in Longview. And I'm so overwhelmed by that it was one of the most moving ceremonies I've been through. And I'm glad I was on the front row, because when they brought the horse across there with the boots turned around backwards, it was more than I could handle. I'm glad you couldn't see my face, because it was an emotional time. I have a really, really good friend that grew up in Longview. He has no idea I'm even talking about him. He didn't even live here, but his name is Ted Mitchell. Ted and I grew up together. Ted went on to medical school with my younger brother, Ben. Then he went on to become a physician and the director of the Cooper Clinic in Dallas, which is probably the most well-known health maintenance facility in all of Texas and all of the world, really. He was George Bush's personal physician. And Ted was then recruited to be the health director for the University of Texas Tech. He controls all of the health science centers at Tech. He's the president of Texas Tech Health Science Center. So he controls the medical school, the nursing school, the PT, everything. He's the man. He's a man of few words, but when he does speak, they're very poignant. And he put something on Facebook this week, and I've copied it, and I'm going to read it to you, because it is what we should be. It says, "I rarely post on Facebook. However, like so many others, the events of the past week have left me feeling sad for our communities and worried about the future for all of our country's children. What legacy will we leave them? While I don't read my Bible as often as I should, there is a passage that came to me completely out of the blue today as I thought about the struggles we're facing. I simply haven't been able to shake it. Tonight I looked it up, and I felt compelled to share it. For all of my Facebook friends who aren't Christians, please bear with me. I believe there is meaning in this for all. The passage is from John 15:12, and it reads, 'My command is this, love each other as I have loved you.' I actually compared more than 20 translations of this verse, all saying about the same thing. What is more important, I couldn't find anywhere the following passages, and this is what struck me. Love each other as long as you share the same political philosophy. Love each other as long as you have the same color skin. Love each other as long as you both have the same cultural background. Love each other as long as you think alike." No, the verse I've been unable to get out of my head all day is as simple as it is profound. Love each other as I have loved you. My faith tradition teaches me that when people focus more on their fellow man than themselves, the world is made better and God smiles. Whether you're Republican or Democrat, conservative or liberal, black, white, brown, Gentile, Jew, Muslim, Hindu, or non-believer, we are all part of the same race, the human race. Moreover, we're all part of a grand and sometimes quite painful experiment in self-government called America. It is my prayer that our family quits tearing one another down and instead works to build each other up. As for me, I will take the advice of Michael, the pop singer, not the archangel, and start with the man in the mirror. We are adjourned.